going to launch a nuclear renaissance during this administration. I think it's going to have enormous benefits around our country. I couldn't be more excited about it, and I could go on for forever, so I'll stop.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Look, this is not a news flash. To some extent, our grid is a mess. We've made some strides in clean energy, wind, solar. We can't get them hooked up. You didn't father that child, but you got to raise it. What are we doing? What can Congress do to help?
I think there's challenges.
Do we need more transformers? What's the problem?
We need more transformers. We need more switchgear. We need more electrical equipment and electrical steel built in the United States, which is part of our supply chain efforts to build more of these equipments here. We need to apply artificial intelligence to these grid studies that you have to do when you put a new source on. They take years. That's crazy. But with artificial intelligence and I think some more common sense regulation, we're going to speed up these grid studies dramatically and prioritize of all the things that have their hand in the air to connect to the grid, which ones are going to be effective and reliable and improve the operation of the grid and help drive down the prices, and how can we get them approved and actual connection as quickly as possible.
My last question is about AI and quantum computing. Look, I'm very proud of what American companies have done in artificial intelligence. I do think we're ahead of China, and what people don't like to talk about in China is AI is supposed to tell you the truth. In China, AI can tell you the truth, except they can't criticize the Chinese government. In the long run, that's going to bite them on the elbow. I support AI. I think it's going to make our lives better.
So class is saying they think a lot of that, is how just don't criticize the Chinese, and the associations to a lot of the discussions that have been going on in those specific classes. Yeah, for instance, remember we've had bouts of people who start to panic and freak out, think they're being hacked. Right, similar to the story we were just reading about and other ones. Right, and when you have such easy access, whether that be for investigators or state workers, people doing their own personal spy games, kids hacking. I know, they're showing the kids how to do it, so. And then when the kids think, they're just playing games. Knock, knock, neighbor. Yeah, it's sad. Well, right, and so, that would go into educating him about it, as opposed to just waiting for the criminals to teach him how to do it, let them do it, now get the kids. It's it's very strange. Well, they're the ones that committed the act. Well, who gave them the access and information? Exactly. So imagine if they had been educating them in the public schools, they might not be so stupid to go along with the druggy, nasty, fucking stupid adults that are pushing the SSRIs, psychedelics, and fighting on the children. It's a business. It's a business. Don't forget your stem cells on the way out. Make your Botox appointment. That table over there. Yeah, would the psycho cunts that look like they'd melt if you put a candle too close to them? Oh yeah, you're too hot to even go near those people. They'd start melting if you get too close. Yeah, remember different bouts of that happening, and Lori, the one who had died in a car accident, remember she left here and she'd been going off about China, listening into her cable box. Right, because a lot of the druggies and the idiots and the people doing the cheating scams, they were fucking with her and her husband. It was so obvious, and you try to tell them. It doesn't make it better. It's like they want something done about it. Who, what, where, when, why. Somebody needs to be arrested or the police aren't doing their job. Wow, you people are fucking psycho. Right, so I think, people start to get pissed off because over the years, these druggies and idiots always try to pin it on China. It's the Muslims. It's the Jews. The racial stuff. Whatever they can. We try to tell people to ignore it. Ignore the comments. But not that. They just seem to focus on the ones they want to. Ooh, that one seems like they're threatening or a stalker. Now, imagine if all this time and energy had been going into actually educating greenhouses, the job program, skills and training. I know some public places and some mostly private, yeah. I know, and they get all this funding for these little private places, which not too many kids get into. No, you have to be from a well-behaved family. They check your parents' background. They don't want any mongrels or cartel family people. Do you know how to make a window? Look, you can use a hammer. Aw, isn't that cute? We need more money. We need more space. They're building windows. Isn't it great? No offense. Anyways. Yeah, and then those are the psychos that cry they need extra security and protection because they're good, hard-working people. And they need protection and enough money to live in a good neighborhood. Safe and secure, low crime rate. Oh man, over the years I tell you, it's been so disgusting to us. It's amazing. It's amazing we were able to stop throwing up on ourselves. There was a man named Michael Finnegan. He had whiskers on his chin again. But yeah, so the China rhetoric, yeah, a lot of it I think comes from that, and people are just fed up with these fucking goons and pieces of shit. Yeah, it's the same ones that got Muslims to fly into the towers. Yeah, and it was actually right before that, they were going around trying to get people to shut down, get the Chinese businesses out of here, that they were cooking cats and dogs. Yeah, and some of the fucking goons and druggies, dude, we know who fucking did some of it. And they were laughing about it, thinking it was funny. And then it got put in the paper and they laughed more. And we were very disgusted and disturbed about it. Somebody wrote a letter. They let them know. People who care let them know some way or other. Right, they were putting dead cats and dogs and little puppies and stuff in the dumpsters at the Chinese restaurants. Yeah, right out of the same cesspool of fucking idiots putting their babies in dumpsters and toilets. High school bathroom, right? Would you get out of me already? I have a prom to get to. Fucking sick, dude, I'm telling you. And then when these kids are the ones that are heavily medicated and have parents that are heavily medicated, like the John Bonneau and Honey Boo Boo types. Yeah, fucking crazy, man. Fucking psycho. Psycho female blowing up. You need to tighten that screw. It's been loose for a long time. I've been slammed with some bad luck. Soon I'm gonna bring it in. I get ducked up. Loose with the 30-odd freestyle something. Like my last stuff on my profile. I don't know the words. Must be all the madness. All your tactics. Just Stick it like a stamp. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. That was right around that time too. Yeah, did it all for the Nookie. Limp Bizkit was high and rolling. Was it like the right? And then it was like the Limp Bizkit and what was the other one in that? Yeah, that's a little more grungy, like a ICP, yeah, Insane Clown Posse and those kind of Two Live Crew, yeah. Right, and then the polarizing, what was on the, at that time? That was more being played on, like, 92 Moose, you know? Right, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears. I mean, when you start to put it together, I mean, it doesn't mean just because you listen to a certain kind of music or have flowers in your hair or you wear a red bandana. It doesn't mean you're one of them. I know, but I mean, stereotypes. And then they'll spread fear in certain areas. These dangerous Bloods and Crips. They play them stuff on the news. They show them LA, what's going on. And then, you know, they tell Slow Sally, hey, if you wear a red bandana, that lets people know you are willing to help. You're a volunteer. And that means you're willing to help if they need help with anything. Okay, I'm going to put the red bandana in my hair. And then you go walking through this neighborhood where they've been fed all this fear propaganda. And then people start getting upset. They don't want you in the neighborhood. Get them hoodlums, gangs out. What are they talking about? What? I want to help. Oh, you're not going to trick us. You even get the last name. Get out of here. They said it was an alias and that I should have that name. They gave you a name and a bandana and sent you through a neighborhood where they'd spread fear propaganda about that name and a bandana. Red bandana specifically. Are you a Blood or a Crip? Angel or devil? When you see them, all of it and none at all. It's really stupid, right? I'm a plumber. Get a load of that crack. Anyways. Yeah, I really hope the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine do what they're supposed to do to help these kids. Da, 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 da. Hopefully. Yeah, if you're an investigator, reporter, you care about humanity, there are already many. A lot of good forces, too. They've been educating people about these cases to show people how they get away with it. How delusional and fucked up and entitled and nasty the fucking people around us are. Yeah, it helps to educate the forces that be. And people in those sectors get upset with each other too, trying to give their own opinions. Oh no, I know those people. Oh no, I grew up around there. Oh no, those people had it coming for years. And I know they deserve. And then they deserve. And fucking shut the fuck up. Yeah, people need to grow the fuck up. It's getting so old. It was old to us fucking 20 years ago, dude. Alright, so anyways, I really hope the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine do what they're supposed to do. No threats. We don't even expect them to smack that sick motherfucker on the wrist. But believe me when I say, you motherfuckers are going to pay. And I do hope and pray that you pieces of shit burn in hell forever and ever, just like you deserve, and that you feel the pain and torture these kids have already been through tenfold. Tenfold. So much love, health, and peace. Well, we just want to make sure, like Trump's son said, we can't arrest them all, so we may as well shame them. Peel the Band-Aid off nice and slow, give them the royal treatment. Right, but you got to understand, too, the hostages they have. So the more you poke at them, the more torture a lot of these kids get. And they're getting killed, too, if you haven't noticed. Yeah, they spike these just like they crash into buildings and stuff and get them to spike. They blow up schools. They don't give a shit. They're crazy. They think I'm crazy. Gonna go make our coffee. Do some light stretches. Some light stretches. Yeah, that was the one out in Gardner. Yeah, one of my sisters worked for one of the Chinese places. Yeah, she got, well, not in trouble, but there was complaints. I remember she had just started dating the private investigator who shot himself in 2009. So this would have been back in the 90s. They worked for that restaurant, Canton, there out in Gardner. And Canton Express is in Augusta, but Canton Village was in Gardner. Yeah, one of my sisters had worked for that place. And what's her name? Marcy. Remember Marcy would always be in there? She worked, she ran the food pantry out of her house. I mean, she'd get quite a bit of funding, yeah. People would be lined up the road for her to go to her house to get food out of her freezer. Oh, God. I know, it chokes me up just thinking about it. And the pantry. Sorry. I'm sorry. Her husband had passed away. She liked to go sit at the bar and drink a tiki bowl, you know. Get sloshed, a bit peppered. But yeah, so you figure all that stuff that was going on too, and fucking punks and pieces of shit leaving dead cats and dogs in the dumpster. Sometimes even the workers being involved with those things. And yeah, anyways, I remember the private investigator who had just started dating my sister who was working there. He was concerned about something, I remember, and he had made some calls. She left Canton drunk, which you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, they started making laws and stuff, more responsibility upon business owners if you alcohol licenses, not letting employees drink on the job. Because then if they leave the establishment and kill somebody, yeah, that's why they have cutoffs and stuff. It's their responsibility. Right, yeah, I mean just certain levels to a certain extent. Yeah, and she had left there, yeah, and drunk, flipped her car. I don't know, she was wearing my Bumblebee jacket. They gave it back to me in a trash bag, all bloody. They had cut it open and the white stuffing was all out of it because it was a pullover. I'm like, what the hell would you give this to me? Maybe had something in the pocket? I don't know. Yeah, so when you think about that and those same kind of families or groups and gangs, business operations, loops, trafficking lines. Yeah, I mean, but I won't do that. And many do. And it's bad, dude. And it's sad and disheartening. It does make us really sad when we see people that get on board with even some of the light hazing and antagonizing. It's like, oh, wow. Oh, it makes me sick to even Yeah, and then to even mention any of that, oh, they're just upset and jealous. They're angry. It's like, wow, over and over. I mean, we've been listening to this shit since we were kids. It's so bad. Oh, yeah, and I mean, sickos. And the pedos, that's why they're connected to those lines of all these good people and criminals doing investigations and trafficking, because they see. They know they can get away with it. You're all caught up. And like his promise is true, only my faith can undo the many chances I blew to bring my life to a new, clear blue and unconditional.